Welcome to Up on Game Presents. And this is Keeping Pace with Skill. And now, here again, LaVar Arrington.
Welcome back in. I'm LaVar Arrington. It's my man Jason Rubin. What's going on, man?
How are you?
You
good?
good?
To see you.
All right.
Thanks for coming out.
I'm glad you came out. My man Jason represents entertainment experts. They service, well, you tell them, that you service what, 7 locations?
So we operate in Virginia, Maryland, D.C.,
Okay.
Colorado, Wyoming, Texas,
Wow.
Kentucky, Utah, Kansas, Missouri.
How many was that? That was more than
We're
7.
We're in almost 14 states.
14 states, okay. So you operate in 14 states. You handle a lot of Pace-O-Matic games.
Yep.
and move them around. Talk to me about how impactful, how important it is for your business to be able to be the operator that services and sells and delivers these games into the markets that you're in.
So it's Pace-O-Matic. It's been a game changer for the locations. I mean, especially COVID hit, as you know here at Hard Times, he'll tell you. COVID was just devastating to small business. Pace-O-Matic games helps them pay their rent. Locations and bars, restaurants, 7-Elevens, they pay their rent, they pay their employees, they give benefits. We never had a machine like this that would be such a drastic game changer for the locations.
A drastic game changer. Tell me more. Why? For me, having an experience is amazing. Whether it's shooting pool, you see ping pong tables. Not every place has all of those abilities, those capabilities, because quite frankly, they just don't have the space.
Right.
So when you think about being able to still create an experience and you don't have a large space, how big of a play, how big of a role does that become in saying that, you know what, skill games give you an opportunity to still have that experience to add to whenever it is you're going to the restaurant, or if you're taking a stop at the gas station, or you're at a 7-Eleven, you don't need very much space
Right.
to be able to have an experience with skill games.
Yeah, skill games make my company relevant to every location we do business with because, like you said, it's such a small piece of space and we can generate so much money for that business. So you have a place that would put 2 skill games in, if they could pay their rent or pay the manager's salary, especially with all the things that are going on and all the pressures that you have of COVID and inflation and just the way the world we are in today, skill games have made such a big difference.
Skill games were taken out, or some people say turned off. At one point, they just came back. How drastic of a change was it for you? How drastic of a change was it for your clientele when the games were cut off?
So when they cut the games off, we had to lay off employees, we had to scale back our staff. Restaurants and bars, a lot of them were on the brink of closing. They got government subsidies and things with COVID, but it wasn't enough. They needed to have revenue from the skill games. So we did lose some restaurants. We had some that went out of business and they just won't come back. They can't afford to pay their rent. Skill games, when we turned them back on December 6th, was right back where we were back in July or June. It started back up and we were able to pay commissions to locations that they're using to pay for all these bills that they have and get caught up and pay taxes and pay employees and rent and all the things that they do.
My last question would be, when looking at how you service the community, how important is it for you to be able to provide something that creates that much of an impact? I mean, that's got to be a pretty cool feeling. Like, it's good to make money, it's great to do great business, right? But when you can provide something, a service, where they're able to stay open and they're able to impact their communities, how important is that to you?
I mean, it's very gratifying to get messages, emails, phone calls from customers that own bars and restaurants and just saying thank you. We're able to pay our bills and we're able to stay open. It's not about the money that we're making. It's about these relationships we've had. We've been doing this. I started in 1987.
Wow.
So these relationships at Hard Times, I've been here 30 years doing business with Rich at hard times, and for him to say, thank you, I'm paying my bills, I'm paying my rent, I'm staying open, it's pretty amazing. You know? And I don't know if he told you he had a manager that passed away during COVID here at Hard Times.
He did not.
Pace-O-Matic paid for the funeral.
Wow.
I mean, they stepped up and they said, here's a check we're going to present to the wife and the kids to pay for the funeral for the family, which, that's
it's genuine.
It's a special thing that you can do.
Right. I mean, so I'm glad you said that, because so many times people get confused in what passion is and genuine investment versus disingenuous, and it's good for optics and it's good for business. Pace-O-Matic, it's a company of people. I mean, the Pace family, I've had the opportunity to meet them. This is a family-ran business.
Yes.
It's a family-oriented business. The people that work there are family-oriented. I mean, do you get the sense, do you feel that when dealing with Pace-O-Matic? Do you get that feeling when dealing with, the community that you service, that this becomes a community-driven service, a family, oriented based service versus it just being, this is business?
Right. It's not like this big scary company. It's a family. Exactly what you said. Right. Michael and Carmen are amazing people, and the whole executive team at Pace-O-Matic. I feel like it's my family. Like I'm in a position where we're operating and distributing the Pace games in many states, so we're interacting on a daily basis with all of Pace-O-Matic, and everybody at Pace-O-Matic is like family, and they really don't treat it, like a private equity company that's just trying to squeeze every dime out of. They are giving back to the community. They're donating. They're doing so much for the operators and the locations. It's just a great company.
Jason Rubin, entertainment experts. You heard it from him. You didn't hear it from me. You got it from him. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks, LaVar.
Thank you. Thank you.